So we wrote this poem for ourselves, for us, for Shadi and I, for Somali folks who have been in this country for around 2 decades now. Because our problems didn't start today. Our problems didn't start yesterday. Our problems started when there was an influx of Somali immigration in the late 80s and early 90s, and from day one, we were marginalized. From day one, we were discriminated against, and that still goes on. So that's what our poem is about today. So. We've fallen into the rhythm of assimilation. Colonizers' tongue masking your own mother tongue. Force-fed you the English language until you mastered how to recite your master's tongue. Pack and unpack until you forget where you're from.
We've fallen into the rhythm of assimilation, a similar rhythm to conversations about multiculturalism and integration. But our black words were seen as too backwards, so we've lost our identity in translation.
Loss of connection. Broken telephones telling our stories
in fragments over long-distance phone calls, fragmented
conversations, displaced words traveling
long distances, they try to remember home. Open your mouth to speak, but your words can't break through borders. Drawn with red pastel by colonial imposters, carved nations into the backs of our mother.
Drew maps that logged bodies inside barren sand dunes. Poisoned our seas and wondered why we turned to piracy.
We navigate the tides of 2 cultures, we think in 2 languages.
Diaspora. The children that fall between the cracks of continents.
Displaced, deserted, disconnected from the realities our kin face back home, disassembled, forced to put ourselves back together again, disheartened, disregarded,
disappearing like the lives lost on the passage to asylum. We spent too much time in the water.
The moss and the breeze swishing in your belly like the sea that most of us have never seen.
Of a crime, of the murder of our culture and the destruction of our country. We tried to remember home.
We look on our palms, searching for a map to guide us, but our palms remain smooth and uncalloused, missing the ridges of hardship.
They aren't rough like sandpaper with some lifelines cut short. We haven't bled the way they bled. How did we get so lucky? Our parents traded their last shilling for a dream, tried to maintain their deen.
They sold their head for a dream, replaced it with skin lightening cream, trying to fit in a world never made for ma'awis and brown skin. In the western side of the world, living in the west end direction where
Somali women only speak to each other in proverbs and poetic passages. Their language open to them, but not. Where the halal meat store is a one-stop shop for food, dinners, and news of back home. But we've fallen into the rhythm of assimilation. Colonizers' tongue masking your own mother tongue. Force-fed you the English language until you mastered how to recite your master's tongue. Pack and unpack until you forget where you're from.
We've fallen into the rhythm of assimilation, a similar rhythm to conversations about multiculturalism and integration. But our black words were seen as too backwards, so
we've lost our identity in translation.
Thank you.
Give it up one more time.